Hey everybody, here in my land. Gonna plant some fruit trees today. Got this local variety of avocado that we're gonna plant. The Mexican sunflowers are doing really well. They're almost ready to chop and drop to make those bananas sweeter. Those are the Namwa bananas and the Orito bananas that we planted like maybe in September, I think. Ooh, a nice big yucca plant. Little baby Mexican sunflowers planted along the contour line. Really happy Rollinia tree here. Of course, we're filling up the empty space between the fruit trees with a bunch of yucca and flamingia and other stuff. Got a hybrid red jaboticaba. Nobody can say I don't have any plinia. More yucca and flamingia planted along the contour line. Fill up some space here. You know, now that the rainy season started, I'm starting to see a little bit more erosion, so I'm thinking it would be a good idea to do some vetiver hedges along these contour lines to improve the soil quality. Here we have an ackee, that West African fruit that's popular in Jamaica. It tastes kind of like buttery cheese, or however you want to describe it. Another nice big happy ackee. Got some pinto peanut, perennial peanut ground cover taken off around here. All our logs for mulch. A lot of organic material in there with fungus and bacteria and mushrooms growing. Plants love that. Here we've got an iboga. It's got flowers. It keeps flowering. It's flowered since it was in the pot. So hopefully it gives fruit sometime. This is that plant from West Africa that's used to produce ibogaine. Basically, you just eat the bark of the roots and it gives you a pretty intense spiritual experience. Starting to get my edible herb garden going here with the katuak and the Brazilian, the sisu spinach and the cranberry hibiscus. Over there I've got, you can't really see it, but there's lemongrass and pico, and soon I'm going to put some African blue perennial basil. I already had planted some here, but it kind of died. You can see the mangosteen here under the shade cloth. The leaves are starting to get burned because some of the guys cleared the brush around here. I didn't really want them to, because mangosteen is kind of a good understory tree when it's young. But whatever, so the sun burned the leaves a little bit. We put on shade cloth, and right after, like a week after the shade cloth got put on, the plant recovered and shot up new growth. So those two new green leaves you see on top are the result of that. Kind of in between the two rows of mangosteen, we have this row of ice cream bean and also flamingia planted along the contour line. You can see it actually goes pretty far that way. I know I'm holding the camera at a weird angle, so this is probably making you dizzy. So yeah, and then below that we have a long contour line of bananas and then peanut butter fruit. So on this side we have the mangosteen that I'm going to space at 12 meters, because it can be a very big tree. So we've got our pinto peanut planted outside the mulch pile. You don't want to plant your ground cover inside the mulch pile because it's going to choke out your tree. Not really going to benefit it much. So we measured some sticks, another contour line that way, and 12 meters, like right there, we're going to stick another mangosteen. Let's walk down the hill a little bit more. These patches of ground cover are taking off everywhere. Another contour line of ice cream bean that switches to a contour line of flamingia, macrophylla, and the next one down the hill we're going to do Mexican sunflower instead of that. I'm lost. Where am I? Oh, there's the achacha. It's doing very well. The Bolivian achacha, or achachairu, very delicious fruit in the Garcinia genus. Not many people have this. This is a grafted langsat tree that I got from Jim West's neighbors. Also called lanzones in the Philippines. It's a very sought after fruit. I'm very happy that this tree is doing so well. And it's in the partial shade. There's a little bit of cover up here. You can see there's definitely some sun that comes through. But it seems to do really well, so I'm not going to take down the shade yet until the new growth slows down, and then I'm going to assume that it needs more sun, and I'll take down the rest of this stuff. At that point it'll be bigger. It's kind of at the edge of the cleared area here. I think we have a salak over here somewhere. Yeah, we planted a salak in here in the woods, the Bali variety. It's looking really healthy. It's shot off a bunch of new growth since we put it in here, since we planted it. I've only tried Salak once or twice, and I don't remember what variety it was, but supposedly the Bali variety is very good. There's one of the mangosteen plants in the pot that we brought up here to plant today. As you can see by the leaves, they really don't like any sunlight at all when they're young. We grew these from seeds that we got from Jim West while his neighbors brought us down a whole box of fruits, and we planted a bunch of the seeds. It started raining a little bit. So this hillside we see in front of us, I've got a bunch of small fruit trees planted along it on contour lines. Last week, or a couple weeks ago, we dumped like 15 sacks of limestone. That's about 400 grams per square meter to adjust the soil pH. It's a good soil amendment. The soil can get a bit acidic up in the mountains, especially in the tropics, and also after being used for cow pasture for many years. Fruit trees like slightly acidic soil. Most tropical fruit trees do, but you don't want it to be too crazy. Anyway, sometimes people see little clips of this in my video and they're like, why are you cutting down that beautiful forest? Well, looks can be deceiving. All these trees are less than 5 to 10 years old. They're all like super fast growing tropical softwood trees. And everything you see here wasn't here 10 years ago. This was all cow pasture, just totally clear cut grass, just like this. The only trees that were here, like that really big one straight ahead, that's kind of dark in the forest, that one, and a few of the other really big ones. Everything else was not here. So they stopped using it for cows and got lazy, stopped clearing it, and it grew back really quickly. And so now we're just kind of cutting back the brush in the secondary forest and planting a bunch of fruit trees. We're not doing anything quite so evil as clearing primary forest to selfishly grow food for ourselves in a sustainable way. We're using land that's already been clear cut and depleted, and we're restoring it. So yeah, just in case anyone's wondering, if it makes your feelings hurt to see a tree cut down, you should probably go get that checked out. Or you should never try to grow your own food, because you're going to encounter some harsh realities that conflict with your ideas that you've developed from your reading things on the internet, looking at Facebook memes about spiritual nature stuff. I don't know what gives people those ideas. I mean, obviously I'm an environmentalist and I love nature, but sometimes we cut down a tree to plant a tree, you know. I'm standing right here where I'm going to build my house, and probably a month we'll get started. There's a few trees in the way and it's kind of rainy and cloudy, you can't quite see, but there is a really nice view behind me normally. It's just the mountains are kind of obscured by the clouds there, so it's a pretty nice area. It's going to be great. Going to have some cool breezes coming in the night. This taro here is doing really well. Of course, in Ecuador they call it papachina, which means like Chinese potato, I guess. A little bit of weed growing in here. So yeah, it's looking really healthy. Wow. So if you want to do what I do, you should come to fruithavenecovillage.com and check it out. Watch some more videos, you know. We're here in southeast Ecuador, planting fruit trees in the Amazon region. It's a reasonable climate for durian and a lot of other tropical things. Yeah, it's nice to grow your own fruit, build your own house, stuff like that. Live in an area far away from Babylon because, let's be honest, civilization is declining and you don't want to be caught in the middle of it. So yeah, have a good day, y'all.